you will have spotted us on the social media. I never thought I'd hear myself say that, but I'm on the social media. I don't tweet or Twitch or any of those things, but I'm on the Facebook in order to promote my program interests and to invite guests to come onto the program. And I've found Elysium Wellbeing, the centre down there beside Grounded on the side of the canal, a most remarkable repository of all kinds of healing skills. You would find Elysium with your eyes closed, because if you're walking along either the Quay or Monaghan Street, just follow your nose and the magnificent scent of the incense would guide you there.
Absolutely.
And you are a practitioner of holistic. This is Teresa Keenan. Spells her name the same way as Mother Teresa of Calcutta, Treasa.
Yes.
And you're a practitioner of holistic medicine down
I am,
there.
yes.
Where did all that start for you?
It all started 9 years ago when I did my Reiki 1 with Kieran Kaur here in Newry.
Yes.
And from there it has just unfolded, as you might say, over the years. I've been, I'm now teaching Reiki myself as well as a practitioner. I teach the Rahani as well, which is another type of energy healing. There's a lot of things that I do, but this morning I particularly want to talk about the quantum healing hypnosis that I do.
Quantum healing hypnosis. That's a big mouthful.
It is, isn't it?
What is it? What is it?
It's actually, there are different types of hypnosis out there at the minute, but this is a development that a lady called Dolores Cannon from America has developed herself. It's her method. She's 82 years of age. She's written over 18 books, some of them this thick.
Wow.
On many, many subjects, but a lot of her information has come through the regressions that she has done. The people that
regression, that's the first time you've used that word.
Regression.
Is that significant within the quantum hypnosis healing?
It is. The process would really take you into a past life.
Yeah.
And then from the past life you would go through different stages of that life, seeing certain specific areas in that life that you may still be actually repeating in this lifetime, or it may be the complete opposite. It's whatever you're meant to see.
You see, I'm wise enough and intelligent enough to say to you that I don't believe you.
Okay.
But hear me through. I'm also wise enough and intelligent enough to say that I accept the possibility of you being right.
Yes.
I have an open mind.
Okay.
And I think that's important.
Absolutely.
Because there are more things on earth that are known to the mind of man.
Absolutely.
Otherwise we're automatons. We may as well have a bolt here and a bolt here, take off the plate, and we have clockwork inside us.
Yes.
But we must be connected to some energy that allows us to grow as human beings, an energy that allows us to become spiritual, allows us to lift a broken bird off the road and give it sustenance. This is the real spirit of man.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it's not about finding your spirituality, because we are all spiritual beings. It's just recognizing it and acknowledging it, really, that's important. A lot of the work that I do is, as I say, holistic and complementary. It's all energy healing. This was a complete diverse for me, because I never thought that I would be doing any type of hypnotherapy.
Wow.
But
Are you a hypnotist?
I wouldn't have said that I was before, but obviously now I do the Dolores Cannon method of hypnotherapy. That may not be recognised as other people as being pure hypnotherapy, because I don't sit there with a pendulum and put you into a trance. No. But it's very relaxed. You go into a very mild trance. It's almost like you're semi-sleeping. It's very, very light, and you're still aware enough that you can open your eyes and stop it at any time.
That's the thing I was going to say, that you allow yourself to enter this state.
Absolutely.
You're not losing control over the situation.
No, absolutely not.
And in that state, what goodness flows to the person?
The goodness that flows to that person is, and by the way, it's all recorded. So they hear what I say, I ask the questions, and they answer them, because they come in with a list of questions of what it is that they want to find out.
And once you have the list of questions in front of you, you look at the list, say you have 6 questions. Are you empowered by your skill of communication with another level? Are you empowered to take those questions further, or do you get the feeling you should be asking something else? do you guide the thing in any way from that on?
Absolutely.
As a consequence of what you're being told?
Absolutely. By the consequence of what I'm being told, first of all, there's a very long conversation before they even go into the trance, into the hypnotic state, where I absolutely have to know as much as I possibly can to gain their trust as well, and make them feel comfortable and make them feel relaxed. Whenever they get into the hypnotic state and the questions they've come with them, you're right, I do expand on those in the information that comes back. If it comes back purely yes, no, then I try to expand on it, get them as much information as possible while we have contact with what we call the higher self. A lot of us can contact the higher self.
What
at
is
times
the higher self?
The higher self is basically your soul, your pure soul. It's not, it takes away all of this image of what you think you are, the ego, the person sitting here in front of you now. It's not me per se, it's not my personality. My soul is totally different than that. It's purely spiritual, it's purely...
And can I assume, from what you're saying, that the lower self, your day-to-day self, if you like, is the angular, is the disenchanted self, is the hard, rough-edged self that has problems. But once you reach the higher self and acknowledge the higher self, that you begin to walk on a different plane.
Absolutely.
You begin to become more chilled and more easy.
Oh, absolutely. You know, because when you're in with your higher self, when you're in contact with your higher self, the higher self, there are no problems, there are no worries, there are no fears, there's none of that. It's just pure love and light. Because that's your divine spark from the Creator, God, the universe, whatever title you want to put on it, that energy out there that we all strive to become that part of. You know, the thing that gives us that drive.
People ask me a question. They very often say to me, do you believe in God or are you religious? And I say, no, I'm not religious. I think there may be a God. I think there may not be a God. I don't know. But I reckon at this stage of my life, it's been a search all my life. I've never taken anything for granted. But that search all my life has brought me to a point that I waken up every morning and put on the clothes of my higher self, and it's with me all day long. Because I don't sweat the small stuff. I'm at ease. I try to do things that make a difference. And I'm chilled. And I always say the African friends have a way of saying it. When you've done your best and can do no more, rest your head in your hand and leave the rest to God, whatever that God may be. So maybe as a consequence of the search and the voyage, I have already arrived at a point. Is that a possibility?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely it is, yes. A lot of people are finding that now, you know, but there are a lot of people who are still struggling and wondering why they're struggling, and they're fighting against it. You know, you're very right to say that a lot of people now are not as religious as some people would think they are, but that's just another title.
It's only a club, for God's sake.
You know, really is. You know, spirituality is really about being true to yourself. And not listening to either your ego or anybody else's either. Or as you say, whenever you do your best at the time, that's all you can do. You can't look back on it whenever you know something different and say, but what if I had known that then? I could have.
Words.
Oh,
what
for
if?
goodness sake. You know, as you say, if you know you did your best at that particular time with those particular situations and those particular people, there's nothing more you could have done. You know, so, and that is in the past. And far too many people, unfortunately, do live in the past. They don't live in the present moment, and either that or they live too far in the future, wondering what's going to happen and worrying about the future. And of course we all get dragged into that, you know. But if you can stop yourself doing that and just say, but right now what's happening? Right now, where am I and how am I feeling? Then you're really living your life.
Yes, of course.
You know?
You see, we mentioned religion there. I often think that if religion had any meaning at all, there would be no need for a person like you.
Absolutely.
All these thousands across the island of Ireland who go into their churches on Sunday mornings and come out again. The experience inside the church should be for them something magnificent that's going to buoy them up for the week ahead. I think in particular of the These grouping at the Dominican every so often. The people come together, the These chant from the south of France, the ecumenical religious people. There is a goodness flowing. There's a tangible goodness there, and it's non-fairy tale stuff. It's a direct line of communication. But putting aside the reality that religion isn't very often or sometimes delivering the goods, people are still cast adrift on this ocean of life.
Yes.
And you can help.
Well, yes, myself and other people now that are coming to the fore with these sort of holistic therapies now are giving people different options, you know, of what it is that they can do to help themselves. It's all about empowering people and teaching them that they don't have to keep on thinking the same way or speaking the same way or doing what other people expect of them.
Wow,
particularly,
hit that.
absolutely,
Big time.
you know, and people do things because they think that they have to. And these shoulds are bearing down on them, and they're preventing them from moving on and preventing them from being who they truly are, and allowing them to live the life that they're meant to be living, basically.
So when the people, when a person comes to you, what kind of burden is that person carrying on his or her back?
Well, many people carry different types of burdens, and some people just want information, you know. With the quantum healing hypnosis, those that can't access that information, no matter different avenues they may have gone down, can access it a lot easier. If I can give you an example, I had a lady came to me. Now, she was actually quite psychic herself, but just couldn't get to the grips with something that had happened in this lifetime. She felt there was something bad had happened, and it turned out whenever we got there, as well, I can't guide them to a particular time and place, by the way. Their higher self, their soul, takes them to a place, and then I access the information. Turned out it wasn't anything at all, you know. It was just the perspective of the child that thought it was terrible and carried that through, and when we got to that, it was completely cleared. But also when we took her, what happens in the Dolores Cannon method is we take them to their death scene in the past life.
Wow.
So in the death scene, they actually experience what it's like to leave the physical body, so that when they come through that, they know that there's nothing to fear. It's absolutely just like taking a breath and just leaving.
Wow.
And just being pure spirit.
It'd be nice to believe that. It's nice to have that.
Absolutely. I've had it done twice myself, so
because
I've experienced it as
you
well.
know, all these Christians, they want to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die.
Yes.
I want to stay here forever. Keep your heaven, God. I don't want it, you know.
Yes.
But if you're talking about a situation where there's people gain peacefulness as a consequence of what you're doing, then that's got to be good.
Absolutely. A lot of people do have fear of death, even if they don't realise it, you know. But this lady did not have any fear of death now, but what she did have was, every time she started a new business, she only got so far and couldn't get any further. And she had a fantastic brain and she had fantastic skills, and then she'd learn something else and move on, and she'd be doing really well at that, and then had to move on and didn't understand it. And when we took her into the past life and she'd moved into spirit, I asked what was the purpose in that lifetime, and did she achieve it? And the purpose in that lifetime, believe it or not, was for her to have fun and to sing and dance on the stage, because that's what she loved to do. And she did do it for part of that life, but then when she married, had children, took on the responsibilities of being a wife and a mother, and didn't go back to it. So then she was told, no, you didn't achieve what you meant there to do. You did not live the life that you were meant to, so now you're going to have to come back around and repeat it again. I'm going to take you there in a moment, but you brought something to my mind, because on the World Service overnight I heard the most lovely story written by a boy with autism, and it ties in with this. You mentioned dancing and whatever, and this was the very short story, and here it was. And it pointed out that someone, very often people who are autistic and have Asperger's, and that they have a connectivity with a higher self automatically, you know. And one of the things that came through it was that those with autism, the greatest fear they have is that they will in any way be a burden to you who doesn't have autism. So this boy wrote this little story, and dancing brought it to mind there. It's very, very simple. And says, there was once a beautiful young girl who wore red shoes and who loved to dance. One day she started to dance, whirling and twirling, tippity-tappity, bouncing and flouncing, and on for days and days, until her feet were so very, very sore that she wanted to take off her red shoes. But she loved them so much she kept them on, and still danced and danced. Then on the 5th day of the dance, a handsome young prince appeared at the side of the young girl's dance floor,
which stretched out from the bottom of the spiral staircase over the expanse of the polished floorboards and on toward the windows that overlooked the garden and the lake. "Beautiful girl," said the prince, "please may I have the pleasure of dancing with you?" "No," said the girl. Then off they went to his castle, and they lived happily ever after. Isn't that lovely? That just came to mind. So is reincarnation part of the deal? Am I a reincarnated spirit person?
I would say.
Did I live before?
I would say you probably have.
Yeah.
Yes. Most people have at this stage, yes.
And you can take me back to the previous life, you think?
Oh, previous life.
possibility.
We've lived many lives.
Many lives.
Many lives.
This is Buddhistic. The Buddha would say this.
Well, it would be, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And it's all about learning lives. We come here to experience things,
Yeah.
you know. In spirit, you don't experience things. In spirit, you are just pure love and light.
Yeah, and
you
is the
don't
spirit the
experience-
transference from one to the other?
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we came here to experience things and to grow and to learn things and to move back to being pure spirit again.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
and living in the spirit of that and living in love. You know, everything
Living
now.
in love.
Living in love. Everything
That's the
has
one
to come
thing.
from love. Everything now,
Wow.
we're trying to teach that everything comes from the heart. Whether it's your thoughts, your words, your deeds, you first should resonate it in your heart and then project it out. You should ask yourself, is this going to hurt anyone? Is this
Wow.
for the greatest need of this person? Is this going to help this person grow, or is this going to put that person down?
Yes.
And then that will stop you, because you will know right away, if you work from your heart, whether that will do that or not, whether that's a positive effect or a negative effect.
Is it a thing that is predominantly masculine or predominantly feminine? The people who come to you, do you get big hairy-headed men coming to say, "I want to find my spiritual self," or not?
No, I have had men come for the
Yeah.
regressions, funny, yes. Mostly women at the moment, yes, but I have had men coming for
Yeah.
it as well.
So you will note that I haven't gone down the road of experimentation with you, because I value what you're doing too much to play games with it.
Yes.
I think the message that I want the people to gather from it is that I don't know remotely whether this is right or not. But what I do know is that you exude a positivity, a coolness, and a goodness. And that has got to be a parcel for the betterment of humanity, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
And where people will find you, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, they get in touch with me at Elysium Wellness.
Okay, he wants me to hold this up, so I'll do this. Yeah.
Well, this is just about the Dolores
Nice and
Cannon. This
yeah,
is the
and we have a
quantum
phone
healing.
number there.
There's
This is
a
your
phone
phone
number there
So
as
that's
well.
nice and steady, Sean. Keep the freeze the shot. Yeah, that's it. Have you got it? So
Thank
the
you.
number is,
078 453 25269.
and that's how you can be got.
That's
at
how I can be
Elysium.
contacted at Elysium Wellness.
Yeah.
And at the
Okay.
moment I'm running a special offer on a Monday morning, or a Monday, all day Monday. It's called Stress Busters.
Wow.
For those people who are
Let
very
me see
stressed.
that. That's a,
I'm
that's a
offering
stress
half-hour sessions
wow.
for £15,
Yeah.
Rowan.
Okay. Okay.
Because some people can't afford the time of an hour, one, because they're very busy.
But if someone's pulling their hair out and ready to do a terrible thing to themselves, and they don't have the 15 quid, you're not going to turn them away.
Well, we actually do have free workshops coming up in Rostrevor Festival, the Fiddler's
Yes,
Green, on the
yeah.
Friday and Saturday, 26th and 27th of July. Myself and another lady are running workshops. We're giving free meditations throughout those 2
Wow.
days. And we'll be charging a nominal fee of £10 for
Wow.
anybody that wants to do energy
Okay,
healing.
okay.
But in Elysium Wellness, if someone comes to me and they're in bother, if they want more than they are, I'm not going to kick them out. I'm not going to have
No.
the stopwatch
No,
on them.
no,
Do you know
no,
what I mean?
no.
But
I
at the same
understand
time,
this.
I'm there to try and make a living as well.
Of course, yeah. Of
Because
course.
I've done a lot of freebies over the years, and then you sort of get wrapped over the knuckles for that.
Oh, yes.
For
Yeah.
not providing a service. So when you provide a service,
If you
there has
give-
to be an
yeah,
exchange, Rowan,
absolutely.
You know?
And that's part of the journey as well.
Yes, absolutely. So that's why I'm doing this special offer, because I think everyone
Okay.
can scrape together £15 and
yeah.
allow themselves half an hour. And it's to give themselves the experience of it as well, because some
Okay.
people are a wee bit wary of it and not sure what it is. But it is absolutely wonderful, and anybody that does come in and wants to try it out, for
We
the
wish
half
you
an hour.
well.
They're very,
we
very
wish
welcome.
you well with this. So
Thank
there
you
you
very
are. That's the
much.
story of Teresa Keenan and her well-being and health-bringing regime to you. And you find her at the Elysium Centre down there beside Ground. Go well. Sean, some music.